On the 162nd episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, we're going to be talking about the death of Tommy John. We have some NFL preseason news, and then we talk about Jaden Daniels sending a cease and desist to LSU. Make sure you use code HatTrick Sports while checking out at w.gg for 10% off your order. Roll it! Welcome to HatTrick Sports, starring your host, Isaiah Carpenter. Bringing you the biggest sports headlines every week. This is the HatTrick Sports Podcast. We are in the middle of the MLB season, but we don't have a whole lot of MLB news other than Tarek Skubal. We're watching Tarek Skubal right now. Not looking good. I believe he finished his outing with 108 pitches, 6 innings, giving up only 1 run, but it was not a pretty 1 run. But other than that, not a whole bunch of baseball news except for this morning. Everybody in the baseball world got a notification of Tommy John dying. Now, I'm going to be honest, I didn't know he was still alive. I just hadn't heard about him in a while and didn't really think twice about it. But I got the notification that he died. Obviously, a legendary pitcher, not in the Hall of Fame, but mostly known for a procedure that repairs the elbow, that prepares your elbow, and has saved, a third of MLB players' careers. Tommy John surgery. Everybody is familiar with the surgery. Arguably, and I wouldn't say arguably, I think objectively, the most impactful surgery in baseball. Now, Tommy John didn't do the surgery. He got the surgery he was the first one to have the surgery done on him. But still really cool nonetheless. He passed away Saturday, which was, I guess he passed away Saturday. It came out today, Sunday, that he died at his home in Florida. Also didn't know he lived in Florida. That's a little fun fact for you. But I did know, actually, I think I did know he was alive because I did hear that, I feel like it was a couple of years ago, that he was in hospice and had bladder cancer. I guess it couldn't have been a few months ago, or a few years ago, must have been a couple months ago. But yeah, he was diagnosed with bladder cancer and has been in hospice in the last few weeks. The Yankees did put out a social media post, I don't know, a few weeks ago when they had their all-time game. They always have this... the Old Timers Day, that's what it's called. They put out this statement from Tommy John, and he said, "I want to thank the Yankees organization and the Steinbrenner family for giving me this opportunity to say goodbye to everybody, along with the friends and fans who followed me throughout his 26-year career." He thanks Dr. Job, who did the surgery, saved his arm, and made it possible for me to continue pitching, and allowing hundreds, thousands of people to continue their careers as well. That surgery has since gone to save the careers of countless pitchers, including many of the very best in the game today. Thank you to all the fans who supported me and my teammates for 26 years. I will never forget you. The day I left for my first job as a pitcher, my father looked at me and said, "Good luck, Tommy. Just remember one thing. Whether you make it if you make it big in the big leagues or you don't, you'll always just be Tommy John from Indiana." He said, "I've never forgotten those words. Thank you and God bless." But that was his last official statement that the Yankees put out. I think this was just when he was going into hospice. But he's not a Hall of Famer, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, how is he not a Hall of Famer?" First of all, he's only really, really, really famous because of the surgery that he got. The procedure of the surgery that allowed him to keep pitching. He did have a good career, but it wasn't a memorable career. He didn't have a World Series. He had 288 career wins, so it didn't pass that 300 win threshold. There were some stuff he's in the Hall of very good. He's in the Hall of very good. I wouldn't say the Hall of Fame, and I wouldn't say the Hall of pretty good. He was very good. Career stats, he went 288 and 231. He had a career 3.34 ERA, over 2,200 strikeouts. He pitched for 26 seasons. I mean, it's tied for the third most seasons played in MLB history, so he definitely had the longevity. He just didn't have that one. If he had 300 wins, I think he would have made it in the Hall of Fame. If he had a World Series, I think he would have made it in the Hall of Fame. But he pitched in 26 seasons. It was in season 12 when he was talking to Frank Jobe, the surgeon, and he had the elbow issue, and Jobe, the surgeon, gave it a 1 in 100 chance of the procedure working, a 1% chance of it working, and now it is at an 80% chance of not working. What's the word I'm looking for? I wrote it down here. Success rate. Yeah, so he had like a 1% success rate that it would work, and now the procedure has gone to be at an over 80% success rate, which is incredible. And yeah, there's so many pitchers in Major League Baseball that that have gone through Tommy John. And even like the game today. Like the game today would not be the same without this type of surgery. I had the stat here. Yeah, he had the second most wins of any pitcher since 1900 not in the Hall of Fame. I don't know who has number one. Who has the most wins in MLB history not in the Hall of Fame? Roger Clemens. That's right. He had 354 career wins. But that was because of PEDs, I think. Yeah, he had the PEDs that kind of slowed him down. And actually, is Bobby Matthews in the Hall of... Oh, no, he was in the 1800s. He was in the 1800s, so this is after 1800 or after 1900. But still, for him not to be in the Hall of Fame is pretty crazy. For like a legit guy who didn't take PEDs and... after 1900, he's like right there at that threshold. Again, like I said, Hall of very good, not pretty good. Like he's a really, really good pitcher. But yeah, you have Ohtani, Skubal, Verlander, Sale, DeGrom. Like all of these pitchers have had Tommy John, and Tommy John was kind of like the first one to do it. Yeah, he won 20-plus games in 3 different seasons, 4 All-Star games, reached the World Series 3 times, but never, ever won one. Today, roughly 35% of all active MLB pitchers have had Tommy John surgery at some point in their careers, whether before the MLB or currently. It's crazy. Tommy John donated the original cast, which why they kept it, I don't really know. I think at the time it was just like one-time kind of surgery. But they donated the cast, which I thought was interesting, to Smithsonian in 2022. And it was signed by the Dodgers teammates Frank Jobe, Dr. Frank Jobe, and Vin Scully, which is also cool. 3 random people. Like, it's just a weird concept. They kept the cast from the 8. When did he have the surgery? I don't even know when he had the... I thought it was 85. When did Tommy John have his surgery? Oh, it was 74. All right. So in 74, they kept the cast, which was like a first-time procedure that was like not supposed to work. They kept the cast, had Tommy John sign it, yeah. Had the doctor sign it, yeah. And then Vin Scully signed it. Now, I'm a number one Vin Scully fan. It just seems weird that Vin Scully had to sign that. Yeah, and then I kind of talked about his final words. I got my notes all in shambles today. What are we doing? But, yeah, it's sad to see him pass. 83 years old. He's in hospice. You kind of knew it was going to happen. Legendary for the game. I mean, like I said, I can't say it enough. The game would not be what it is today without Tommy John surgery. A third of all pitchers in Major League Baseball, that is 1 to 2 starters per team not being able to pitch because they don't have an elbow. So, good for him. Now, like I said, we don't have a whole lot of Major League Baseball news today, but Jeffrey Yans, I talked about him a little bit last podcast. I'm not a fan of the celebration, but I'm not a fan. Like, I'm not a hater to the celebration after strikeouts. If you want to do that, sure, you can do that, but it's going to come with repercussions. And I also talked about this last podcast, like, hey, throw downs to second base, you want to strike him out, throw him out, you're going to be celebrating, jump up in the air and get domed in the head with the baseball trying to get a strike him out, throw him out. But no, the first instance of this humbling him came out last week. I have the video up here. Where was it? Major League Baseball. Where's the tab? Bam, right there. Here it is. So we're kind of going to go play by play here. Sorry for you guys listening on the podcast. You're not going to be able to see it. He gets set. He throws the pitch. He thinks it's a strikeout. It's in the upper left corner. I thought it clipped it at first. He immediately, before the umpire makes a call, jumps up, jumps down, touches the ground, then taps his head. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I just lost a whole lot of aura. He taps his head. The umpire reviews the call. He goes to ABS. The pitcher is reviewing the call. And then it shows that it is a ball. How far was it out? I don't know if it says anymore. Zooms in. Yeah, 0.4 inches off. And he just lost so much aura. Immediately taps the head. But he did end up getting the strikeouts. It was swinging, and it was actually a nasty pitch. Again, I got to watch that again. What kind of pitch is it? I don't even know what pitch that is. He jumps up, jumps down. He gets the guys on his knees. But, yeah, the guys in the dugout were definitely giving him some, letting him know, like, a lot of lost aura. A lot of lost aura there after doing that celebration. Again, I'm not going to hate on it. I really could care less, but I knew that there was going to be some stuff that was going to happen that was going to not go well, and it's going to keep happening in his career if he keeps doing this. Again, strike him out, throw him out. It's going to happen. He's going to get domed in the head. You hate to see it, but it's going to happen, and he doesn't have to do that. But we are going to go over MLB standings. How many games are we into the season right now? 125-ish, 123 games into the season. Let's start off with the AL East. The Rays taking that division. 5.5 games behind are the Yankees, and then 2.5 games behind that are the Red Sox. The Orioles and Blue Jays are down there too. Blue Jays, I mean, they went from the World Series to under 500, 14.5 games back. The AL Central, I hate talking about the AL Central and the AL West because they suck so bad, and then the Dodgers, like, they don't even have a first round bye. But the White Sox are 5.5 games ahead of the Guardians and Tigers. The Tigers could come back. I actually want to see the Tigers kind of come back, so they traded Scooble for nothing. But yeah, the Guardians and Tigers are 5.5 games behind them. And then a half game behind them are the Twins, 6 games back. And then you have the Royals way down under, 15.5 games back, finally getting their 50th win of the season. They are 3-7 in their last 10 games. The Royals need to turn it back on. And then, oh my goodness, the AL West. Every week, I want to come back here and I want to see more than one team in the AL West have a win percentage of over 500. It's always just one team. And this week, it's the Astros. They're 63-61. 8 thousandths of a percentage from 500. Nobody else is at 500 in this division. Rangers, 61-63. The Mariners, 58-66. 5 games back. Angels, 14 games back. And the Athletics, somehow in the worst division in Major League Baseball, 14.5 games back. Haven't even had 50 wins yet. And we're 125 games. They're 123 games into the season. The AL West just makes me mad how bad they are. You guys shouldn't be mad at the Dodgers for the payroll. You should be mad at the Astros the AL West for how bad they are. Let's talk about the NL East. I mean, this is a pretty solid division. The Braves, 7.5 games up. The Phillies are 7.5 games back. You know, they're still going to make the playoffs and stuff. They're not going to catch the Braves. The Braves are on fire right now. Braves, Dodgers, NLCS, and I think the Rays. I'm calling it now. What's the date? August 16th? Yeah, August 16th. I'm writing it down. I think that's going to be the Dodgers, Braves, and the NLCS, and I think that the Rays win the ALCS and make it to the World Series. I'm calling it now. I don't know who the Rays are going to play in the ALCS, but I think the Rays make the World Series. I think it's Dodgers, Braves, and the NLCS, and I don't know who wins that. We're on episode 162. I'm writing that down because we're going to clip this when this actually happens. But, yeah, Marlins 7.5 games back, and then the Mets, the highest payroll in the MLB. They're trying to be the cool kids. You know, you try to buy Bichette, Lindor, Juan Soto, it just doesn't work out. They're 56-69, 18.5 games back. NL Central. This is a better division, actually. Actually, I don't know about better, but the Brewers are better. The Brewers, maybe Brewers, Dodgers. Brewers, Braves? Brewers, Dodgers, Braves. Ooh, only 2 of them are going to make the NLCS. The way the Dodgers have been playing, it's looking like Brewers, Braves, and the NLCS, and the Dodgers lose in the DS. And then all the haters, yeah, that's going to be fun. Everybody's going to be like, oh, you guys spend $400 million and can't make it past the DS. And then it's like, oh, if they win, it's like, oh, of course you want. Like, it's a lose-lose situation for the Dodgers, except we don't care. Let's keep ruining baseball. But yeah, the Brewers are 4 games ahead of the Cubs. I'm hoping the Cubs can catch up with the Brewers to make it hard for the Brewers. Like, I want them to fight it out so the Brewers are tired when it comes down to the DS and CS. But yeah, the Cardinals, 13.5 games back. 16.5 games back is the Pirates. And then tied with them are the Reds. That is interesting. Only 2 of the Braves, Brewers, and Dodgers will make the NLCS, and the third one will lose in the DS. Whoa. Huh. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out. And then the NL West. I mean, what a division. Let's just give it up for the NL West. The Dodgers, 8 games up. Are they in a slump? Yes. They need to get out of it. They had a 7-game losing streak, and then they're like 5-5 since then, or something around there. They're 74-50 right now, even with the losing streak. I mean, they could easily have over 80 wins right now if they were just playing normally. But this last 2-3 weeks, not fun for the Dodgers. I mean, especially getting Scooble, you get the hate from the CBA negotiations and stuff. It's fun to be a Dodgers fan. Trust me, it's very fun to be a Dodgers fan, but it comes with a lot of stipulations of when they do bad, it's like you keep second guessing and you're like, how can this team not win 162 games a year? You expect perfection all the time, and then you have hate coming from the outside, but then at the same time, it's like you're back-to-back World Series champions, about a three-peat. So I won't complain about the Dodgers too much. But the Padres, or as I like to call them, the Madres, are 8 games back. Half game behind them is the Diamondbacks. Keep fighting. I want the Padres and Diamondbacks to keep fighting each other. 22.5 games back is the Giants. I mean, what happened to the Giants this year? And then the Rockies. 24.5 games back, 123 games into the season. They're 24.5 games back. They're about to get eliminated. They're in the next few weeks, you're going to see the Rockies get eliminated. In the next few weeks. They're at oh my goodness, they don't have 50 wins there. Wait, I don't need to see 398. Oh, no, the Athletics are the worst team in the MLB right now. Oh, actually, the Rockies are 3. Oh, so it's the Athletics at the bottom, then Angels. Obviously, in the AL West, they all suck. Half the division doesn't even have 50 wins yet. And then it's the Rockies. But all 3 teams don't even have a winning percentage of 400. That's just brutal. All right, let's move on. Scooble never had Tommy John. Yeah, no, he definitely had Tommy John. 2017, he had Tommy John surgery. Hate to break it to you. That was on our TikTok live. Somebody commented, Scooble never had Tommy John. I made sure to check every good player that had Tommy John, and Scooble was definitely on that list. All right, let's move on to the NFL. Devon Witherspoon signed an extension with the Seahawks, 4 years, $132 million. It's the highest paid cornerback in NFL history, and is also a Super Bowl champion. Over $100 million of that is guaranteed. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler, but he's only played in 3 seasons and is the 4th Seahawk to ever do that. He is only 25 years old, and he's in his prime right now. I mean, he's just on a roll. Just sign him. Just keep feeding him the money. And was a huge part of actually the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl, if you don't remember, he at least had 1 sack on Drake May, and then on the pick 6 in the Super Bowl, the guy that hit him to cause the pick was Witherspoon. He caused that pick, the pick 6 right there. So the Seahawks already made JSN the highest paid wide receiver in March. He became the highest paid wide receiver. And now Witherspoon's going to be the highest paid cornerback. The front office is trying to keep this team together. We lost a lot. We lost a lot of the defense here in the offseason. But the front office is trying to hey, we need to do good again this year. We can't be a one-season wonder. Because I don't have a great feeling about the Seahawks this year, especially with how they played last night. I just don't have a great feeling about it. And I get it; preseason's different, but I just don't have a great feeling about the Seahawks this season. But yeah, JSN and Witherspoon were actually drafted together back in 2023, and the picks that they got, these two guys in JSN and Witherspoon, were the picks that they traded for Russell Wilson way back when. So it was cool. In hindsight, that trade is a huge win. When the Seahawks traded Russell Wilson, like, I was scared. I was like, oh my goodness, like, there goes that. But now, like, Super Bowl champion, and now we have two of the best in their position, the highest paid in their position at least. So it all worked out. That Russell Wilson trade all worked out. John Schneider, the Seahawks GM, said it's a great deal for Spoon. It's a great deal for the organization. And then the Seahawks named him one of the top 50 greatest players in franchise history last year. And he's that was just going into his third season. So, yeah, I'm excited. I think Witherspoon's a great cornerback in general and great guy for the Seahawks and a huge part of the Seahawks Super Bowl team. And I'm excited that he's going to be here for another 4 years. Again, I don't care about the money. They could pay him $200 million. I wouldn't care. Another Seahawks, DeMarcus Lawrence. He announced that 2026 is his last season. Now, he confirmed this because this is year 13, and he said that he almost retired after the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. He had his mindset. He was like, if we win the Super Bowl, I want to go out as a champion. And it's actually a really cool story, a really cool like train of thought that he has. He was like, I want the target on my back. I want to play with a target on my back. Everybody's going for the Seahawks right now. You know, they won the Super Bowl. No team wants the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl. Again, he wants to play with that pressure on the target on his back, and I think that is amazing. I think that's what makes him a Super Bowl champion. He said, yeah, like I said, he decided to come back because he wanted to experience defending a title. He wanted to experience defending a title. He says, staying on top is where the hard part begins. He was with the Cowboys for a good chunk of his career, 11 years, I think, and then in March, like last March. Yeah, it was last March he signed with the Seahawks. And then he had a great season last year. 6 sacks, 2 defensive touchdowns. He was in the Pro Bowl. And yeah, it was his first year, obviously, because he was on the Cowboys, that he went past the divisional rounds in the playoffs. He had, here's an interesting stat that I found. He had a sack in each of Seattle's first 2 playoff games before the Super Bowl win. He's 34 years old, so he's getting up there. Like, he's at the retiring age, and he has 67.5 career stats. This was also a cool quote that I found from him. He says that they say it's no fun when the rabbit has the gun. We're the ones with the dot on. We're the ones with the dot on our back. I just want to see how that feels, and that's why he came back. And that's like. Playing in the NFL is hard on the body and like hard mentally, I'm sure. And like you're practicing, like the heat, everything like that, workouts. He wants to feel the pressure. And I feel like that's like what's going to push him because he doesn't have to play the season. He wasn't expecting to play. He just wants to play with the target on his back. I think that's absolutely phenomenal. And then no more Seahawks news. We're on to Ricky Pearsall. He officially had his surgery. He had the PCL surgery and he has 9 months of recovering. Oof. So he should start by the beginning of next season, the 2027 season. He posted this long thing on Instagram, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically he says the road starts now. You know, nothing's going to stop me. I'm ready for every part of it, every early morning, every setback, every small win nobody sees. He says that he has no regrets or what ifs about like trying to rehab instead of getting the surgery in the offseason, which I think he made the right call if he comes back good. If he comes out bad, then I think he made the wrong call. And I think you can't really make a call until then. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like a robbery for Rookie of the Year. I don't know, not Rookie of the Year, before his rookie year. He missed 6 games, and then he had the knee issues that were at the end of last season, and then obviously he's not going to play at all this season. It's funny, he played at Florida, and he never missed a game at Florida, but in 3 years, he's played just 20 games as a pro in the NFL. So that does kind of suck, but it's all just because of injuries. And then the 49ers will have to decide on his 5th-year option next offseason, which he's barely played, so I don't know how that's going to work out. But in his career, he's only played 20 games, 67 catches. Again, we were talking about Witherspoon. He has 67.5 sacks. Pearsall, 928 yards, 3 touchdowns. he has like real talent when he's healthy, but when he's not healthy, that's where it starts to go downhill for him. And that's like, do the 49ers want to keep that up? Like, do you want to risk that? Like, he's a huge liability right now. And Deebo Samuel is set to take his roster spot this season. All right, let's see what we got here. If you guys are just joining TikTok Live, make sure to follow if you have not already. All right, the last topic we are going to talk about today is Jaden Daniels sending a cease and desist to LSU, and the internet has gone on a full rampage about this. This is a joke. This segment is a joke. Like, I'm not meaning like I'm making the joke. I mean like this is a joke. This is just a straight joke. Jaden Daniels' attorney sent a cease and desist letter to LSU after the school allowed DJ Pickett, who is a sophomore cornerback, to wear his number 5 jersey. It's a number on a jersey. You're in the NFL. Grow up. I mean, I don't know the significance of the number to either Jaden Daniels or to DJ Pickett, but I bet they got beef now. Jaden Daniels did win the Heisman in 2023 wearing number 5, and he's the first player to wear it since he left for the NFL. And LSU hasn't retired his number yet. Whatever, bro. It's college. This isn't the team that you want to retire. You want the NFL to retire your number, not college. But LSU has retired his number. Daniels said that he made it clear that he did not want anybody else to wear his number. So this has brought out a whole wide range of social media jokes. First, it was the Mets. Let me see if I could. I want to see all of it. One second, I can find it here. Let's find it. What was it? Daniels. Yeah, the Mets were trolling Jaden Daniels. The Five Below was trolling Jaden Daniels. The Mets won 4-1 in their game, and the caption on it said "Stopped at 4 out of respect for Jaden Daniels," because, like, what are we doing? So basically, oh my goodness, this is a dumb quote too. Jaden's camp said that they are deeply disappointed and feels profoundly disrespected. Lane Kiffin, obviously the new LSU coach, said that Pickett was promised number 5 during recruitment back in December of 2024 before Kiffin was there, and that Kiffin felt obligated to honor that promise, which is fair. Kiffin never coached Daniels. Kiffin's the coach of LSU. Pickett is his guy. Like, that is his player now. And he's going to stick up for him, the guy that plays for him. Brian Kelly, who was the old LSU coach, admitted that that the number was promised to Pickett, but he chose not to issue it because Daniel wasn't on board. Kelly was fired in October of 2025. The cease and desist also demands that LSU stop using Daniels' NIL entirely. His contract gave LSU 180 days beyond his final college game, which has now expired. LSU has not responded to the letter. Shocker. It's a joke. This whole thing's just a joke. Joe Burrow is also like another very well notable quarterback out of LSU. He had number 9, and that has not been worn since 2019. And that's the comparison here. And Daniels is trying to show that. Daniels has had a career in the NFL, drafted number 2 overall, won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then last year, he did miss most of the season, but I think this is all a joke. I mean, are we seriously setting cease and desist? You can't use my name, image, and likeliness to my old college. Like, leave that in the past. Let them do whatever they want to do. Honestly, let the kid, DJ Pickett or whatever, the cornerback, let him wear the number. In honor of you. Every time somebody sees number 5 on an LSU jersey, they're going to think of you. They're not going to think of some sophomore cornerback. Like, I don't think embrace is the right word. Don't embrace it, but, like, let it be. Like, who cares? You're worried about the wrong stuff. But, that's just my thoughts on it. I know some people have different thoughts on it. I think it's funny how the entire internet is trolling him because it's a joke. This whole thing's a joke. I would throw that cease and desist letter away. But That is going to do it for the 162nd episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast. Thank you all for listening. You can listen anywhere you listen to podcasts: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbeam, your Amazon Alexa, YouTube for all the visuals. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Go to shophattricksports.com. Get the best merchandise around, and we will see you guys next week for episode 163.